Gentlemen, let's talk tennis, and we'll go to the Telegraph Sport front page of their sports supplement. David, Saudi's $2 billion bid to buy tennis PIF offer to merge men's and women's tour amidst slams. ATP given 90 days to decide whether they take or leave deal. Simon Briggs with a piece. David, how seismic is this?
Yeah, it's massive. The Saudi Arabian takeover of world sport shows no sign of abating. We've seen it, obviously, with the Newcastle investment. We've seen it with the multiple other sports that they're getting involved in. I think it was originally boxing that they really started to rise in, and then most notably the Live Golf launch that has really torn apart the establishment within that sport. And it looks like it may happen again here in tennis in very similar fashion, because the proposal sounds lucrative. It would be outside of the Grand Slams, so sort of on the tour level, and a big decision needs to be made. Clearly, some are in favour of it. It seems like the ATP boss, the boss of the men's side, perhaps is. Others aren't. Saudi Arabia has already tried to launch a Masters event before the start of the Australian Open that ended up getting rebuffed. But there is a lot of tension, a lot of politics here, a lot of conversation that needs to take place. And they've moved meetings back until, I think, May, early May, when a decision is going to be made on this. Because in the meantime, they're going to be having all sorts of dialogue and discussions. And it's the changing face of global sport. And I think we better get used to it, because they've got ambition and they've got wealth. And when those two things come together, they're normally pretty persuasive by the people that make the ultimate calls.
It's an autocratic state, isn't it, Martin? The wording here is interesting from Simon Briggs. It may be his choice, but the take it or leave it offer to merge the men's and women's tours. How much do these sports risk giving up in terms of control and any sense of democracy within their ranks if they do sell out?
Davis touched upon boxing there, but boxing was really struggling against MMA because nobody was fighting anybody anymore. And in the past 12 to 18 months, you've seen the big heavyweights being offered an enormous amount of money to go and fight in Saudi. And finally, the heavyweight division's got life again. You can see potentially Anthony Joshua fighting Usyk or Tyson Fury, which we've been speaking about probably for 5 years, and that's not happened. So they have proven that, as you just said, that money does talk, all around the vision of 2030. But I mean, in terms of tennis, there was another story regarding Emma Raducanu, and there's a problem now in the game in terms of the Penn balls and the Dunlop balls are completely different, and this is causing serious damage to tennis players' wrists. And the reason they want to go ahead to keep doing this is because they can get individual sponsorship deals for the balls. So you're talking about that's really low level, affecting the player's fitness to get a deal with a tennis ball company, as against here comes £2 billion on the other side of the track. And tennis will find it very difficult, the same way golf did, to ignore just what's been thrown at it. As for the long-term implications, we remain to be seen. But the 4 Grand Slams are going to stay out of the deal, which would be interesting and would potentially suggest that tennis is trying to hold onto its independence in the face of the money. But we'll see what happens down the line with this one.